Alright y'all, so we just gonna get straight into this video. No intro, no nothing. I really just want to like vent and just let this out and let this just be the end of this, the end of everything. I don't want to really talk about it. I don't want to talk about it no more. I'm just laying this to rest. Just think of this as literally a funeral service. Like, we are saying our final words and let it go, okay? I know that was like a little harsh, but whatever. Anyways, y'all, so as y'all can see by the title, I'm gonna be telling y'all the truth about my relationship slash situationship, because I have been single for over a year now, a little bit over a year now, but I've still been dealing with this person up until not that long ago. Literally probably like almost a month ago. So what are we in right now? This is March 2023. So I've been dealing with this person since 2019. Anyways, let's go through these years. This video is also to bring awareness. I'm not necessarily, how can I say it? First of all, let's start off with this. I don't do stuff like this. I don't put my business on social media. I don't try to bash anybody publicly. I don't even try to bash businesses that do me wrong. Like, I literally always keep it pushing. It's kind of like the person, and I'm gonna be humorous about certain things because I really don't want to cry. I don't cry on the internet. That's something I'm really not gonna do. So if I gotta take a pause, I'm gonna do it. But it's like, I'm literally the person where if I receive something and it's like defective in some type of way, I'm just gonna take that out and keep it pushing. So let's just so y'all can have an idea of what type of vibe I give and what type of person I am. Not that I have to prove myself to anybody, but I don't know whose hands this might get in. So yeah, let's just leave that at that. Yeah, so like I was saying, I am recording this video to definitely bring awareness, but this is also for me, and this is for me to hold myself accountable and not to go back to this person or, fall for their ways or feel sorry for anybody or want to be, people's savior and stuff. Sometimes you gotta leave people where they at, and once they show you who they are, just believe them the first time and then keep it pushing. Because had I would have did that a long time ago, we would have never been sitting here having this conversation. I'm like having this conversation. Anyways, y'all, let's start from the beginning. So first things first, I met this person when I was just now getting out of another like toxic relationship. I was dealing with a lot with the person before him. We had years on, and that person just, I had initially moved to Miami to I moved to Miami to go to college, but that person definitely like suggested me to come out there and we like make things work or whatever. So me, I was there like, yes, let's do this, whatever. Long story short, that wound up not working, and I wound up meeting this person through one of my friends. So I met this boy, and going from one toxic situation to a fresh new situation, if you don't properly heal and do what you need to do to like take care of yourself before you project that onto somebody else, it can cause a lot of I guess you could kind of say it's kind of self-sabotaging in a way. You never want to move on to a new situation if you're not healed and really done with the last person, okay? So like I said, I met this person, and let's just say when I was in Miami, I didn't really do anything. I was lonely. It did not work out how it was supposed to work out as far as with the previous person. So I wasn't going nowhere, didn't have no friends. It was just me, my camera, my money, and that's it. Like, I didn't really have no motion, nothing going on. So when this person came into my life, I went and met them and met up with them, and he just blew my mind, y'all. Let me tell y'all. So first of all, we was talking for a while before I linked him, and once I finally linked him, he had me on jet skis, he had me on boats, he was paying for my nails, he was making me feel so special. And this person didn't know what I was going through. This person didn't know I was freshly out of a situation. This person didn't know I was like broken. This person knew like I wasn't trying to do too much or move too fast. This person very much knew everything. So it wasn't just I was trying to pretend like I didn't have nothing going on, but this person knew that my ex was still around in some sort of way. We went to the same school literally and all of that stuff. So yeah, once the first weekend we linked up, y'all, it was this feeling. I was like, wow, like our first weekend together, like we literally sat on the balcony of this like B&B he had got or whatever, and we was just venting to each other, and we were just crying to each other. And it's like I never experienced no shit like that. Like I never did. Like I was loving that he wasn't scared to show his emotions, and that he was so like well spoken, and you know, it kind of gave like we're willing to heal each other type of situation. Because you know, nowadays, especially being from New York, everybody's so hard, everybody's so tough, and it's like when you first start talking to somebody, everybody's guard is always up. Like it never just goes like that. But it was like a movie, y'all. Like it was literally like a movie. I felt like I was in, like, you know. And regarding my situation before, like he wasn't showing me feelings really. He was pretty much nonchalant with me. It kind of made me feel like he didn't care until I like left, and then that's when he showed he cared a little bit, you know. So to deal with somebody who's so in touch with their feelings and know exactly what they want, it was everything to me. So immediately after that, like I'm talking literally, y'all, the first weekend we spent together in person, he told me he loved me, and I said it back. And I said it back. Like, I did not care. That was my man. He looked good. He dressed nice. Like, that was everything I was looking for at the time. So, and I was actually ready to move on from my last situation. You know, I've been doing the same cycle that I'm in with him. I was like that before. And I was actually at the point where I was ready to leave. So, you know, he wound up leaving. And, you know, because he didn't live in Miami at the time. He was still in New York. So, we had like a long distance type of situation, and we was very honest with each other. Like we had each other's location. I would always tell him if I ran into my ex or we had a conversation, whatever the case. Everything was very open and upfront. Like it was something like no other. I never had an experience like this before. So as the time went by and everything like that, I met him in September 2019. So as the time went by, I was scared because I was like, I really do like this person. I really do want to pursue this person. But it's like I'm still getting over a past situation. It was like I jumped from one situation to the next. And he was so like, I can heal you. Like, I'm a healer. I'm this, that, and the third. And it was just like, that's cool. No, I'm going to go with the flow. But your feelings are your feelings. You understand what I'm saying? So as the months went by, as the time went by, me and my ex kept bumping into each other. And, you know, I don't know. I need to give him a name. Like, I'm going to say second ex is the one I initially was in Miami for. And first ex is gonna be the one that we're talking about in this video. So we for a while we had a very good relationship. We wasn't officially together at the time, but we had everything, it was so healthy between us. Like it was such a breath of fresh air, y'all, I'm telling you. So next thing you know, we got into our first kind of argument because he had came out there for Miami Carnival, first ex, and we had a ball. Like we had a blast, we had a good time. But that's when we got into our first like toxic little argument or whatever the case may be. And it really wasn't nothing, but it wound up being something because he was like technically like drunk driving or whatever, and I'm like, stop, you driving too fast. It's irrelevant. But that's when we got into our first little back and forth or whatever. He wound up crashing his car, the rental or whatever, and that was just like a big thing between us because I don't even remember what the argument was about, to be honest. We were both very, very drunk, and it shouldn't have went like that, to be honest. But we wound up making amends, whatever. Y'all know my birthday is in November, so my birthday came around, and you know, he wanted to post me for my birthday, which why wouldn't he be able to post me for my birthday? But I was trying to explain to him, I just literally got out of a public situation, so it's just like I don't want everybody in my business just thinking I'm hopping from one dude to the next. I mean, we all do it. Like we all go through certain things. Like nobody's perfect, but it's just like I'm always in a public relationship. I just wanted to make sure that this was solid. Me and him was only talking for 2 months at this point. 2 months at this point, probably not even 2 full months at this point. And I'm just like, I just want to make sure this is like solid first before you posting me. Now everybody's in my business. Let's just slow this down just a little bit. Like I don't want to go public. I want to enjoy you for myself. Like I want you to myself. I don't want nobody in my business. I'm not trying to hide you. Literally, I was not trying to hide him, but I just wanted to take my time. And he did not like that. He thought I was trying to hide him. He thought, you know, whatever he was thinking. So that's when he kind of started getting like a weird feeling about me. I believe that's when he started like, you know, feeling some type of way towards me. He was supposed to come out for my birthday. But he couldn't do it because, you know, he was going through his own stuff at the time. So I spent my whole birthday weekend without him pretty much, and he felt some type of way because it was like, damn, I can't even post you for your birthday. Like, who you hiding me from, you know? So when we got back after my birthday weekend, you know, there was this pool party at my campus, my college. No, it was a pool party at my college apartment, and it had all the fraternities, all the sororities. It was black people. Like, I didn't really get to see that often where I was going to school at. So I was hyped. I was like, yes, I want to go. It's lit. Like, turn it. It was litty. He was like, he didn't really want me to go because he knew that my ex was going to be there. And I knew my ex was going to be there, but I didn't care because it was just like, I'm going to have fun. Like, I had my little roommates or whatever the case may be. We was going to go and catch a little vibe or whatever. I didn't know that my ex was going to be there, but I wasn't going for him, nor was I going to get his attention, nor it's like so many women around. Like, I'm not expecting him to be worried about me, especially given our last moments together, my second ex. So I'm really not thinking he's going to be worried about me. So essentially, I wound up going, and I had a good time. Like, I wound up having a good time or whatever the case may be. And then towards the end, some boy tried to talk to me, and my ex saw, and then he just like went crazy. Like, he was ready to fight the dude. And my second ex, he went crazy. He was ready to fight the dude. It was this whole big thing, whatever the case may be. I got upstairs, and I still had some of my second ex's stuff. So he came, got his stuff. We got into like a little scuffle, whatever the case may be, and I was just tired, y'all. I was just tired. I'm like, you done treated me so bad, and then as soon as you see another man in my face, now you want to act like you mess with me. Like, you don't even talk to me. Like, we literally walk past each other. Like, even when we see each other on campus, like, we was not speaking. So I was just confused as to why he was acting like that, because I'm just like, you don't show me no type of nothing. Like, where's this coming from? So, you know, I was honest with my first ex, and I basically told him what happened, and he was like, I knew this was gonna happen, and I told you this was gonna happen. And also, I'm gonna skip the part, literally, first ex was gonna come down here to see me, because I guess he was somewhere around, he was in one of these states, I don't remember, but he was gonna come and see me. But I didn't want him and second ex running into each other, because I know how we could get, and I felt like they was both like that. So it's like, I don't want them to clash. And not that I was trying to hide anything or nothing going on or nothing like that. It was never like that. But it's like, I didn't want it to clash into he got all his fraternity brothers, and if it's a big thing, I didn't want nothing to happen to my new boo. So it was just kind of like, and I'm not calling him pussy, I'm not saying he was scary or nothing like that, he was far from it, but it was like, I did not want that confrontation. So I just asked him, could he come a little bit later? I didn't tell him not to come, I told him to come a little bit later. And he really felt some type of way behind that. We was really arguing and everything. It was like this whole big thing. And I'm like, you act like I told you don't come. I just told you to leave an hour later, literally. So it's not, so y'all not really bound to run into each other, which that's exactly what would have happened. So whatever, he wound up getting a B&B, and we went to the B&B. It was like this whole thing. So that's kind of the whole, that's what started the whole, like, him feeling like I was being sneaky behind my, which one did I call him, y'all? I'm getting the exes all mixed up, y'all. So that's what started getting him riled up about that or whatever. And that's when I guess he felt like he had to, like, make him a little bit insecure, which I definitely understand. But I was really trying to convince him, like, look, it's nothing funny going on, and I understand how it may look to you, but I have very much open communication with you, you know. And then we was in two different places. I'm like, you can call me at any time, it don't matter, like, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna answer, whatever. Now, speed this up, fast forward, here's where I messed up now. So one of my first ex, I keep saying y'all, let me reformulate the names real quick. So we're gonna call the ex that I went to Miami for D, and we're gonna call my ex that's the reason of this video, we're gonna call him H. One day, D's roommate, which was also somebody that was a part of his fraternity, which was also one of my friends. Now, you know your man's exes, whoever, their friends are not your friends. Their friends are not your friends. However, I did feel like me and his friend was really friends, because there was times where D literally kind of left me for dead. Like, there was this big hurricane in Florida, whatever. He was all the way in a whole different city with his family, his built family or whatever he had going on. And I was just out there by myself. Like, even if I had to evacuate off the campus, I couldn't. So these friends let me stay at their apartment, which they had together. So I thought that was really nice. And so during the hurricane, I had his fraternity brothers, like, you know, watching over me, because they know about our relationship. They was there for a while. They seen all the ins and outs. So they kind of consider me their sis, I guess you could say. So it was like 2 of them and 1 of me. And I just like slept on the couch, whatever the case may be. So I really fucked with him after that, because it was just kind of like, you ain't even have to look out for me like that. And you did. And I really appreciate it. So besides all the other things or all the other moments me and Dee's friend had, of course, nothing solo or nothing inappropriate. It was never inappropriate. But, you know, I still looked at him as a friend, right? So he had a party and I was invited. So it was a car full of people. Just put it like that. It was a car full of people. Dee was in the front. I was in the back. Everything was right. Oh, what's up? What's good? Da, da, da. It wasn't nothing inappropriate going on. We wasn't nothing. Like, it was nothing there. It was just like on some friends type of tip. But it's like, you can't be friends with your ex. Like, it's like, I understand where I went wrong in this situation. But it was just like, it wasn't like that. And I understand why it would come off like it was like that. So we wound up all going to the club or whatever the case may be, celebrating his birthday. It was litty, this, that, and the third. Now, D decides that he wants to take it upon himself to record me in the club with him. Mind you, in the video, we wasn't like close up on each other. We wasn't booed up or nothing. We was just there together. So it was me, him, and a whole bunch of other people, the fraternity people. Everybody was there. And of course, he recorded it, and H saw it, and he went crazy. He had every single right to go crazy, because it looked crazy. It looked absolutely crazy. And I'm just like, oh my God, how do you explain this? Like, how do you? And I didn't understand D's motive, because it was just kind of like, I think he knew I moved on. He just wanted to show H that he still got it like that, which comes into play later in the story. He just wanted to show me he still got it like that. So long story short, H wound up confronting me about it weeks later, because I never said nothing about it. And I was just like, look, I know it looks crazy, and I know what's going through your head, and I'm sorry. Like, I apologize. I messed up. Like, I messed up. And I shouldn't have been there. And yeah, he was my friend too, as far as D's friend, but I'm messing with you now. I should not have been there. So I understood that. So after that happened, H started moving crazy to me, y'all. Like, this is still 2019, y'all. H started moving super crazy to me. He didn't want to talk to me. He was talking crazy to me, cursing me out, doing all types of things for months, y'all. It was for a while. And I'm not gonna lie, I was eating that, because I felt like I deserved it, because it was just like, I'm not even that type of person to really do stuff like that. And it's like, I'm not the type to hurt nobody. And I honestly think I was fiending to get outside. So it was like, any opportunity I could use to like get outside and have some type of fun, I was there. Because I was always in the house every single day. Like, every single day, all day. So that was my poor excuse at the time. So, you know, he was treating me crazy. And it was just like, oh my God, I got to eat this up, because I was dead wrong. So I ate that. And that's what really was like, all right, you clearly still dealing with your ex. That's how H felt. And I had to respect it. And, you know, it didn't matter what I said, what I did. He still felt like I can't trust her, and whatever the case may be. 100% understandable. Cool. So now let's take it to the next year. The next year, you know, we didn't spend Valentine's Day together, although he brought it up to me, and, you know, we spoke about it and stuff like that. He was just like, he don't want to do nothing, whatever the case may be. So I'm just like, okay. His birthday was not too long after Valentine's Day. So, you know, he wound up spending it with his people, shooting a music video, whatever the case may be. But he didn't really want to be around me. And even later on Valentine's Day, he was like, dang, like, I wish we would have been together. Like, I wish we would have did something, this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, bro, you just went mad hard saying you don't want to do nothing for Valentine's Day, and now you're telling me you want to do something. Once again, another pattern that we're going to see further down in this story. I didn't know what to do at the time, and I just know how he made me feel in the beginning, which still to this day was one of the best. Oh my God, better not get emotional. Still to this day was one of the best times I ever had, like, first impressions with, like, a guy. Like, it was one of the best, and I think that's what I was fighting for. I know that's what I was fighting for the whole duration of our relationship. But I just never got that back. I never got that back. So now let's talk about spring break 2020. So now spring break 2020, I was so fiending to see him and being up under H, because now D is not in the picture no more. He's not nothing. Like, that's gone. So now H, I was like, look, I will literally fly you out, because I had money at the time, and I still have money, but I have money. So it was just like, I will fly you out. Like, I will fly you out just so you could come spend some time with me, come see me, whatever. So he was like, I'm gonna just see, whatever the case may be. All right, cool. I wound up flying him out there. He came to my college suite and we spent some time together. So days is going by, and it's just like, we just laid up in here. So, you know, eventually it's a college suite. It's not really like a big apartment. It's not, we sitting in a room that's not even that big. So eventually we're gonna start arguing about dumb stuff, and I'm like, let's go outside, let's take a walk, let's go sit by the pool, like, let's go do something. We just trapped in this house. He just gave me 1,000,001 excuses of why he don't want to do it, and I'm just looking at him like, so what you came out here for? Like, you don't want to be cooped up in this house, but you not trying to spend time with me outside. And then it's like, his man was out there too. So it was just like, he would go outside with his friends, and I didn't want to be the one to tell him like, oh, you can't go outside with your friends or whatever the case may be. So I was letting him go outside with his friends, but it's like, every single time you keep telling me you don't want to do nothing with me outside, but you going outside with your friends, it's making me feel like you use me. And I don't like feeling used, because my heart, like, I feel like I have a very genuine, pure heart. So I don't like when I feel like people was using me. So over time, it just became a pattern, and we know we never did nothing. We never went anywhere. It was never nothing, but he was outside with his men. So one day, he went outside with his friends, and I see him in his friend's music video. They shooting behind the scenes. And you know, when your man is outside, you know, you watching everybody's story. Like, you tagging this one, I'm looking at that one, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Y'all, I seen him in somebody's story, telling some girl, come sit down, mama, something, slapping some girl butt while she's shaking her butt. And I'm like, oh, so you came out here to disrespect me. Okay, cool. So that was the first time I ever kicked him out. I was blacking him. I was cursing him out. How dare you, this, that, and the third. I flew you out. You don't want to spend no time with me, but you want to go outside and be with your friends. You got the nerve to disrespect me outside, and you slapping girls' butts and this, that, and the third. I was heated, y'all. I was so heated. I felt so used. Oh my God, y'all. I felt so used. So we get into, I kicked him out, boom. Now he had to find his way in Miami. And that's indeed exactly what he did. So he wanted to find his way in Miami. He wound up telling me, like, he had to sleep in B&Bs with 2 girls in a bed. And then it's like, I never understood what made him tell me certain things. Like, just certain things I don't need to know. And I never understood why he used to open his mouth to say certain things to me. It's like, are you purposefully trying to hurt me? Oh, you was in a B&B, you had to sleep in a bed with 2 girls, but we ain't do nothing, no. I still don't believe that to this day, but whatever. Then essentially he wound up moving to Miami, getting his own situation or whatever. We wound up speaking again, you know, after this whole situation happened, maybe a few weeks. And he wound up getting his own apartment, but he needed help getting the apartment because his friend didn't have his portion, because him and his mans got the apartment. His mans didn't have the money or something. The money was coming late. I don't remember what happened, but long story short, they needed help, and if they didn't get that apartment that day, it was never going to be available again. So what happened, I came out of my pockets to give the roommate's portion of the money. Yes, I loved him. Yes, it was dumb. I was willing to do anything for him because I still felt guilty. And now that I think about it, I did mess up by like making him, you know, breeding insecurity into the relationship, and, you know, making him second guess like where I'm really at with it and my intentions and everything. I understood that, but I just felt like you could have just left me alone if you really didn't trust me. You didn't have to torture me, you know, during this whole time. So I didn't understand what was up with him. So boom, I actually skipped the part. Let's go back a little bit before I flew him out. I used to fly back and forth to New York every 2 weeks to make sure I saw him. So imagine, I was flying Delta. So you could just imagine how much I was spending on it every single 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks from January to March. Or probably a little bit before January, to be honest, because I was on top of that. I wasn't losing him. Like, I felt like he was a great guy, you know, whatever the case may be. And then every time I would come see him, he would just be mean to me. Like, he wouldn't want me to stay long. You know, he wouldn't want me to pop up on him at his crib. Don't stop popping up at my crib, da-da-da-da. And then when I would try to sleep there a little bit too long, like spend a night and then want to sleep but stay with him all day, he's basically telling me, like, he wants me to leave and why am I still here? And just being like he was treating me so bad. And once again, like I told y'all, I felt like I didn't feel like I deserved it, but I felt like I was making an excuse for him treating me that way. I was like, maybe he's still hurt. You know, we did discuss the relationship. He was like, I just don't know. Like, I don't know if I want to do this, like whatever the case. And I was like, all right, well, you know, just, I was trying to fight, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to beg you to death. If you don't want to be here, then you don't want to be here. And I totally understood that. So now go fast forward him treating me so bad and being so mean to me, and just like, I literally have videos of him, the way he used to look at me, and so like, it was in disgust. Like, it was in disgust. And like I said, if he felt how he felt, whatever, but you could have just left me alone. You could have left me alone. He was still talking to me this whole time. He could have just left me alone. He was making it his business to make sure he hurt my feelings. So he was just so mean to me. Like, he was so mean. And I remember one time we was driving down Ocean Drive, and he used to tell me people say he's mean and people say he's this. And I was like, I just can't see you being mean. Like, I don't see that for you. Like, you're so nice, and you jokes on me. Gee, my body. Anyways. So fast forward now, I done flew him out. That whole situation happened. I helped him with the roommate situation, whatever. So of course I seen his apartment for the first time, and you know, it was nice. It was a bittersweet moment, because it's like, I'm happy for you. You know, I'm happy you accomplishing something out here, and you know, it was a new beginning for him. But it was just like, damn, like, I know how he treat me. I know how distant he get from me. So I just felt like I knew it was about to be women in here, whatever the case may be, which it was. Then as soon as it's like he was barely talking to me before that, or talk to me when he felt like it. And then after and then when he needed the favor, I did it for him. And then he was, of course, trying to be closer to me when I was doing this favor. And then as soon as I finished, like, after I did the favor, it's like he didn't want to talk to me. Like, he just stopped talking to me. He just stopped talking to me. And I'm like, okay, you used me. You used me. Like, but I didn't, it's like I felt used, and I knew he was using me, but it's like I didn't want to think that's what it was. And I was in denial about it, but he was using me, so my feelings was hurt. And then we started getting into it back and forth. But I knew he was so distant because he was having women there, and because he just wanted to treat me like whatever. But it's just so funny how every time you need me, you mad nice to me. And then as soon as you don't need me no more, you dispose of me. Like, I didn't feel like that was fair. And that's when I started to catch on, and I was just like, whatever. Fast forward, his cousins his cousin and her friends came to Miami or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I know them, like, I could spend time with them, be outside, this, that, and third. So they did have me outside. They had me around dudes. Like, it just felt good. Like, we was in the studio. Like, it felt good to be outside, and it did feel good to be around dudes. And no, I wasn't talking to none of them or nothing like that, but it just felt good to be around both sexes, and we just vibing. Like, it wasn't nothing extra going on, but it felt good, you know. We all wound up, somebody was watching us. It was like some oppie stuff going on, so we had to leave the B&B and go to his house. Now, when we was at the B&B, he did come one day, and we like briefly spoke, and he was like, what's up? And I was like, what's up? And he like quick gave me a hug, and I was like, and all my emotions came back, because I was like, damn, like, I really love this man, and we really don't speak. And I am not gonna cry on this internet. Ooh, do I need a beauty blend? Like, what is going on? I'm not gonna cry. Anyways, you know, I really loved him, and you know, just seeing him after like a while, because this is way after he moved into his apartment, it was just kind of like, just knowing where he was at, and just to see him just doing so good, it was just kind of like a weird feeling. And you know, I really just wanted to cry at the time, y'all. Like, I really wanted to cry, because just, you know, when you going through it with somebody and then you see them for the first time after a while, all the emotions come back, you know. So anyways, that happened, and we all wound up having to go to his house last minute. Don't ask me why I spent the night with everybody at his house. I don't know why I did that. I should never did that. So I believe we all slept in his bed or something like that. His bed, his floors, blood beds, it was all different types of stuff. It was like a fucking, I can't even explain it, but everybody was in there sleeping. So we had spent the night, whatever, and then the next morning, everybody went out for breakfast, and once again, he just was acting like I was not there, like he did not see me, and it was just like a lot for me. So I remember all of them went out for breakfast, because there wasn't no room for me in the car. Nobody really cared or whatever. So I just stayed at his house with one of the other girls that was there, and I think I had turned over on the bed or something, and just seen a big ass box of condoms, and I was, oh my god, my soul jumped out my chest. I was like, oh, like, I knew we wasn't like together, but it was still like, of course, when he wants something, or when he wants some, or when he want to talk, he still is in contact with me. But just to face the reality of he's actually out here having sex with other people was crazy to me. It was crazy to me. So I got emotional about it, whatever, and I was venting to the girl about it, which I don't know why I was venting to her about it, because she really didn't care, and like, she had her own stuff going on, so you really can't vent to everybody. And long story short, when they all came back or whatever, he said right in my face, like, oh damn, like, your shit fat, like, to the girl. And that was it for me. I was like, you dead ass. Like, I was cursing him out, whatever. Because I'm like, you, any chance you get, you try to hurt me. Like, you try to act like we cool, and then you try to hurt me. I would never do that to you. And it's like, you're ODing now. Like, you just don't have to deal with me if that's the case. I would not be in his house if we still didn't deal with each other to a certain extent. Y'all gotta understand that. So once he said that, I was done. Like, I was done. I was absolutely done. That was so disrespectful. I don't care how cool you and her are. I don't care about none of that. That's mad disrespectful, and I don't even know this girl like that. I don't even know her. I didn't know her, really. Like, we were just hanging around each other. That was the first kind of time, not that situation, but that whole, when they was out there spending time in Miami, that's when I first had met her. We was all hanging with the dudes and all of that stuff. So I didn't know her. So, you know me. I'm thinking, oh, so you must have did something with her, something, because why you feel so comfortable saying that in my face? It's like he wanted to torture me. And it's like, now that I'm thinking about it, and I already told him this, but you've been out to get me for years now. Like, what? So after that happened, I'm not gonna lie, I got an Uber. I took all my stuff and I went back home. And I will never forget that Uber ride home from his crib to mine. And I was just bawling tears, y'all. I was, oh my God, I was crying so bad in that Uber, and I know that guy was looking at me like, what the, like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like, I was just bulleting and I was just screaming. Like, it was just, you know, those cries, like, you just, you know, whatever. So, I remember I wound up linking them again, my friend and her friends, and, we always spend the time together at their hotel or whatever the case may be. We went on the strip, we did this, that, and third. And then they was gonna go to his studio, and his studio section H. And I decided not to go because I just felt like it's probably gonna be other women there, and I don't need him trying to torture me again, which I should have, and I wish he would have, because ooh, I was on bullshit after that. Ooh, yes. So after that situation happened, I told him, like, look, I'm not gonna go, and I really wanted to go. I really wanted to see his face, and I don't know why I kept having these urges to want to be around him or see his face, but I knew it wasn't good for me. So I was like, y'all could just go to the studio. I'm gonna be good. This is still 2020 we talking about, y'all. I'm gonna be good, whatever, just go. So I got an Uber, and I was just crying. I called my best friend crying, like, I really want to go, but I know I have to let him go. Like, he's treating me like shit, and I don't deserve this. Now I'm at a point where I'm like, I don't deserve this because he's ODing. Like, he really don't have to mess with me. He's ODing, so I'm crying, whatever. Now, speed up time. So now, we getting deep into spring break. My friends are planning on coming out to Miami. So, you know, Neji, Philip, Janice, like, they came out there. And my surgery was supposed to be, we in June now. So, my surgery was supposed to be June 7th. And that's what they came out there for, so they could help me out of surgery. And my surgery wound up getting pushed back to July 7th. So we was just out there turning up, having a good time, whatever. And you know, when we all get together, it's a movie. Like, it's literally a movie, y'all. So we, you know, we having a good time. We going here. I'm finally feeling like something again. Like, my friends is out here. You know, I've been out alone out here for so long. And it's like, yeah, I was out there with my other friend and friends. But it's just like, it didn't hit the same because that was still his cousin. So eventually they still had to go back to him. And then it's like all the fun is cut short, you know. But with my friends, they was spending the night with me. We was being goofy. It was just a great time. Anyways, y'all, here goes one of the biggest scandals of the situation, of me and H's situation. So we basically was on the strip. We went to Voodoo. Everybody who goes to Miami knows Voodoo. Y'all know what that's about. And we went to Voodoo. We went upstairs. We was having a good time. Like, it was vibes. I remember my best friend, my boy best friend, and his friends, which I'm also cool with. I believe this happened before the scandal situation I'm about to tell you about, because I was gonna write everything down, but I couldn't bring myself to do that because it's gonna bring me down, and I'm trying to stay positive nowadays, so I'm just running off of, you know, my mind. Now we in Voodoo, we about to leave, so we at the top and we looking down and we see we see D and his friends downstairs, but we had to leave anyway. So when we wound up leaving, I said what up to his friends, because me and D's friends over the years, like, we all wasn't cool or nothing like that, and these is his friends from Brooklyn, like from New York, so not the Florida friends, these is those friends. And me and one of his guy friends was real close. Like, we always used to chop it up, and we always used to talk business. Like, it was nothing inappropriate. Like, D very much knew about it. Like, it was never none of that, nothing. It really gave family vibe. Like, one thing about me, I was delusional to a certain extent, but I knew the real, and then it's just not that 100%. But still, your man's friends, not saying he's my man, but y'all gotta understand, when you let somebody go, they friends go too, whatever. So I'm talking to his mans, everybody's vibing, like, it's cool. But me and D are acting like we don't see each other now. We don't see each other. So now we out there, we talking, we having a good time. And his friend was like, yo, you know, y'all can say hi to each other. And I'm just like, no, I'm chilling, like, you know, whatever the case may be. And I don't know what D wound up saying, but whatever, we wound up speaking. Now me, here we go again. Remember D from the very beginning. Here's my thing. I felt like just treating me like crap. They just treat me like crap. I'm not even talking to no other boy. I'm not entertaining nobody. I'm not nothing. But it's like, when I saw D, it just kind of, I don't want to say it brought old feelings back, but it was kind of like, in a way, it kind of brought old feelings back. And not even that I was like, I don't want to say it brought old feelings back, because it didn't necessarily bring old feelings back. I was just getting a certain level of attention, and it wasn't like getting attention from a new dude. It was like getting attention from somebody who already knows you, already knows your body, already knows, like, you know. So it was the attention. I was like, wow, like, you know. And I know that D still had love for me and stuff like that. So it was like I was kind of taking advantage of that, and I didn't feel bad for it, because it was just like, H been shitting on me for mad long, so why should I feel bad? He got everything else going on. He don't even see me. He don't even acknowledge me. All he does is talk down on me and ignore me and use me. Like, I felt so justified. Remember, I felt bad for even going to the club with D. I didn't even feel that no more, because I was just like, all right, I done cried it out. It's clear he's using me. It's clear he's moving on, whatever. So then I was talking to D, like, face to face. Y'all, next thing you know, Philip walks up to me and he's like, yo, H just gave me a dap and walked inside. I was like, you're lying. He was like, I'm serious. I was like, oh my God. I was like, Daisy. He was like, he did. Like, he saw you. Like, I was like, oh my God. Now he gonna think I was talking to this boy the whole time, and I really wasn't. It was like the timing was crazy, y'all. The timing was crazy. So anyways, that wound up happening. And I think he had texted me, and now we starting to go back and forth, or whatever the case may be. We arguing, or whatever the case may be. And it was just this whole big thing. And he was like, I knew you was talking to him the whole time, da da da. I'm like, and I wasn't, but you was treating me like shit. So I saw him, and we was chopping it up. Like, I don't see what's the problem now. Don't act like you care about me now. Don't act like you like got that type of energy behind me now. Like, you was just treating me like what happened? Where's that energy? Why are you mad? And then he felt embarrassed because he was with some of his family members, but I still didn't care, because it was just like, you've been treating me like shit for months. We are all the way in June in 2020. We're in June of 2020. So you've been treating me like shit for months, just using me, just disposing of me when you want to, you know, taking advantage of me. So I don't understand what's the problem. Cool. That situation happened. We wound up arguing, this, that, and the third. And then we wound up speaking about it at a later time. I don't remember if it was, I believe it was still that week. But I'm not sure. That's when my boy best friend and his guy friends, which I was also cool with for mad years, that's when they came out there, and it was even more of a movie, because now my friend's still here and y'all here. It was up. So we was linking them. We was on the strip with them. Next thing you know, I'm talking to my best friend. We walking on the strip. It's a good time. Next thing you know, some like girl tried to talk to me. She was like AG, like whatever you want to call it. I guess he basically saw and was like trying to fight her. Like, hey, she came on the strip. He saw like all of this happening. He was trying to fight the girl, and I'm just sitting there looking at him like, once again, you don't fuck with me. Why are you doing all this extraness? Like, he seen I was looking good on the strip too, and I was a little big too. He seen I was looking good on the strip. He didn't want nobody to have me. So it's like, oh, you don't want me, but you don't want nobody else to have me. That's what type of situation we working with. All right, cool. He's moving all like clingy to me now. He don't want me to go nowhere without him. Me and my friends wound up leaving. Whatchamacallit? I forgot how we wound up parting ways or whatever the case may be. But for now, me and Neji stuck as hip. We walking up and down the strip with him. He don't want nobody around me. He don't want no boy trying to talk to me. He don't want none of that. We going in the stores with him. Like, we was stuck at the hip, and I was allowing it. I'm like, look, he finally jacking me. Like, it was giving very desperate. Like, oh, he's finally showing me the attention that I want. And I was happy with that. So it was just kind of like, I was doing it. So now as time goes past or whatever, they wind up coming over, and him and his cousin wind up coming over with me and Edgy or whatever. And his cousin and Edgy obviously was not in the same place, but me and him was in the same place. Y'all can use your imagination. You already know it went down. So all of that wound up happening. Cool. He wound up leaving the next day. Cool. Now everybody left. You could almost guess what happened. He kind of basically disappeared on me. I had nobody no more. All my friends left, whatever the case may be. So now he's still calling me, but every couple of days, trying to check up on me for like 10 minutes. And then he's so busy, he gotta go. And I'm just like, I don't understand why you keep calling me for a short period of time to see if I'm good, but don't try to, like, you got a car, you don't try to come see me, nothing. Like, what do you want from me? What do you want? Like, you're literally using me and taking advantage of my feelings. Like, it's like you don't want nobody else to have me, and as soon as you see me in somebody's face, or as soon as you ready to pop off, like, what's up with you? So we used to get into it and argue about that or whatever. Long story short, it wound up coming time to, it was July 4th. I will never forget this day. My my childhood friends had came out to Miami for July 4th, so we wound up linking up, whatever. I saw him on the strip when I was with them, and he kind of like tried to act like he didn't see me. And I was like, ew, like, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, he was just trying to duck off. He like, what? I'm not trying to. I'm like, no, you tried to act like you ain't see me. You was trying to hide. Like, I don't like that. Like, don't do that. Don't act like you still don't be calling my phone and we still don't be talking. Like, don't do that. So that whole situation came into whatever. And we wound up linking up that night. Use your imagination. And this was late that night. Like, this was real late that night. So I'm just like, I'm with it. I was with it. I just wanted to be laid up with him, whatever it gave. Like, that's what I was willing to do. He's at my house, and this is my job. I'm telling y'all, it was late, like 2 in the morning. It's 2 in the morning. Like, it was late, y'all. Somebody's calling my phone. Down. Now, mind y'all, in between this time, after a while, I did start texting people. Of course, I wasn't linking nobody because I didn't know nobody out there. But I was texting boys or whatever the case may be. It wasn't nothing crazy. It was like 2, I believe. So it was just kind of like, I wanted somebody to keep my attention too. Like, I didn't want to just sit there and be cooped up, ain't have nobody. Like, come on, we is grown. Like, I'm not even about to sit here and do that while you out there doing what you want to do with everybody, living your life, like, whatever. Like, mind you out there because of me, and you made the best out of it. So I'm really salty. Like, damn, he came out here for me, and now he living up his life, and now I can't even live the good parts of his life with him, which also is a pattern in this story. Pay attention. Now my phone blowing down, and I'm looking like, I don't know why this person is calling me like this, because I don't talk to this person often, so I'm confused on why they blowing up my phone like as if we talk or something, or like it's, you know, something like that. When I tell y'all it was the worst timing, it was like I was having the most bad luck with him, and every single thing was making it look like, see, and this is why I stay away from you, because look at what you're doing. But I'm like, I'm not even doing anything, like, you know. And now that I think about it, I should have just picked up the phone and was like, yo, stop calling my phone like that, like you're bugging out, like just put it on speaker, because it was really nothing. But I just felt like I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to answer somebody call in front of your face. I felt like that was mad disrespectful too, so I just didn't. And you know, he was just trying to flex on me because I couldn't even cut my phone off. Like, I couldn't even put it on do not disturb. Like, it was crazy. Like, I would never forget the timing in the situation was crazy, y'all. It was crazy. And I think this person was drunk. They had to be drunk, because there's no way you calling my phone down like that. They called me like 40 times back to back. It was crazy. So now he's over there calling me all different types of hoes. I'm a booty call this, booty call that. And I'm like, how am I a booty call for somebody I'm texting that's in New York? What are they possibly, like, I'm confusion. I'm so confusion. Like, I'm very confused, but I'm sitting there like, you messing with who you messing with. So why you coming down on me for who's texting or calling my phone? You barely even text or call my phone, so what's up? So anyways, we wound up going back and forth. He winds up antagonizing me. Then he calls his cousin, the one I was hanging with. She's with a guy that doesn't like me. So now he's basically trying to get somebody to validate and like justify his feelings or whatever the case may be. He's like, oh, he doesn't even get intimate with me in a certain way. I'm just a little H word. And what else he was saying? He was like, something, I don't know. But once I tried to grab the phone, his hat fell and condoms fell out of his hat. Like a damn magician. I was like, now you use those? Why are you bringing those here? Because we don't use those. So I'm confused. Oh yeah, I don't even do this. I don't even go down on her. Yeah, I gotta use a condom on her, this, that, and the third. And I'm looking like, oh, you really trying to show off in front of this boy, trying to make it seem like I'm an H word. Okay, he was really trying to flex. Mind you, I told y'all my surgery was pushed back to July 7th. This is July 4th, and he already agreed to be that person that picks me up after surgery. So now, besides the fact that I feel super disrespected, my surgery is coming up. So I'm like, and he's like, F that, I'm about to just leave. I'm leaving. So he was trying to leave. I'm not gonna lie, I was stopping him from leaving. I didn't want him to leave. It was just a whole big thing, whatever the case may be. And we wound up getting into like a scuffle or whatever the case may be. The cops wound up getting called, and of course me, I protected him. Like, you know, and this was no, like, the scuffle wasn't even as intense as it gets in the story, but we were both equally scuffling with each other, you know. And of course when the police came, I like straightened up, and I was just like, you know, we just got into an argument, sir, that's about it, whatever. Once everything was done with, he obviously had to leave the property, and he texted me like, you got what you wanted. And I'm sitting here like, what are you talking about? This is not what I wanted. Like, what are you talking about? Long story short, I wound up having to come out my pocket an extra $1,000 last minute to get a recovery home, because nobody was gonna make me miss that surgery for nothing. Nobody was gonna make me miss that surgery for I wasn't going for that. So I wound up booking a recovery home, whatever, and that was that. You know, this boy did all that, made sure he wasn't there for me for my surgery. Just for 2 days after my surgery, he called me. Not even 2 days, the day after my surgery, he called me like, yeah, I'm just checking up on you to make sure you good. What? So you could call me and check up on me right after my surgery to make sure I'm good, but you couldn't be the person who comes and at least drop me to my house, which I'm happy that didn't happen because I really needed help. I couldn't move. I felt like I was going to pass out. If you have a BBL, lipo, all of that, you know how crazy that is. If you watch my skinny BBL vlog and everything like that, y'all can see I was alone most of the time. Most of the time I was alone, besides when I was in a recovery home, and I was still kind of alone. You know, even though I was at a good recovery home, but still, I was alone. So I felt like, wow, you know, whatever. So anyways, even after that, we still barely spoke, whatever the case may be. All right, cool. So now it's coming time for my lease to be up soon in my college suite. So you know what I'm deciding. I'm going home. I'm going back home. I'm going with my family. I feel so alone out here. I'm ready to go. Especially this dude is treating me terrible. Like, I don't even want to be out here no more. Like, I'm leaving. So let's call this boy, a new boy comes into the picture, and his name, we're gonna give him Y, because he comes in the story. He comes in later in the story. So Y comes out there. I used to talk to Y. Now before I even get into that, let me tell you something. And I'm trying not to do this moving forward. I'm just so weird with new men. Like, I feel like people be having motives and all different types of stuff. I used to mess with Y years prior to that. Like, I knew him for years, like, you know, whatever the case may be. So I felt comfortable with him. And me and Y was texting or whatever the case may be, and he wound up coming to Miami with his friends and everybody like that. So I was hanging with him and his friends. Once again, I was ready to hang out with anybody that just was able to catch a vibe. Like, I was so lonely in Miami, y'all. I was so lonely and depressed. Anything to get me outside, I was out there. So I wound up hanging with Y. He had me in music videos, which I was looking crazy in, but he had me in music videos. We had this big pool party. It was litty. He was dunking me in the pool. I wish I could put those videos out, because I really could, but I'm not going to. Anyways, we had a blast. Like, we just had so much fun. His friends was mad nice. Like, it was girls and boys there. Everybody was vibes. Like, mind you, I'm 3 weeks out of surgery. 3 weeks out of surgery. I am 3 weeks out of surgery. Still sitting on a BBL pillow, y'all. Still sitting on a BBL pillow, y'all. Like, it was crazy. But I was outside though, and Y was making me feel like I had that old thing back. Like, I can't explain it. Like, Y was bringing them vibes. So now, of course, now it's coming time closer for me to leave or whatever, and H is still sitting here trying to argue with me about this, that, and the third. And at this point, I don't even want to argue with you no more. I'm about to leave. I got my new Johnny, like my new old Johnny, whatever you want to call it. I'm good. Like, I don't want to argue with him, but I still couldn't help it. Like, I couldn't help but argue with this man. So we used to argue back and forth still, whatever. Now I tell him, like, look, my lease is up. I'm about to leave. Like, I'm about to move to New York. You know, after him treating me like shit the whole time I was in Miami, the last week I was there, he was like, oh, he want me to come live with him. He want to be with me and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. 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 You treated me like nothing this whole time, just for my last week here to tell me that you want me to come live with you, and you want to be with me after you just treated me like I was invisible, like you was so disgusted of being around me. Like, what? And I'm happy that I actually wound up leaving. So that's that. Anyways, we agreed for him to come and see me I believe it was my last 2 days there. He came, he was supposed to come and see me. He made up so many excuses. Any other time, he all over Miami, driving every single place, doing what he doing, with this one on a yacht, doing this, blah, 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 blah. He's doing the most. Every single day he's out there. As soon as it's time to come see me, he gets inconvenienced, and now he can't come to see me. So we didn't even get to see each other when I left. Cool. Now it comes time, I left. I had to pack all my bags by myself because New Johnny wound up leaving Miami at this point. Pack my bags by myself. Once again, I don't want to cry, but pack my bags by myself. I'm almost 4 weeks out of surgery at this time. Did everything by myself pretty much, and it was just kind of like, now this boy want to try to act like he care about me, or like let me down again, and you couldn't even come help me pack. I gotta lift these heavy boxes. I had to ask somebody from the leasing office downstairs, a stranger, to help me pack them bags because I physically could not do it. I physically couldn't do it by myself. So you got me putting on my personal stuff and this stuff. I don't even really know this boy. And he was cool, don't get me wrong, because I got packages there all the time, and we used to speak here and there, but that was the closest thing I had to help, so I did what I did. Whatever. I wound up missing my flight, and I had to stay in the airport for like 6 hours, y'all. 6 hours. And I was literally ready. They almost didn't have a flight for me, so I almost had to stay overnight, which I felt like I was gonna have to call H, but I'm happy I didn't have to. Long story short, wound up making it back to New York. Now we outside. So we get to New York, we outside. This is now summer 2020, which is one of the best summers of my life. I'm there, I'm with Y. I'm kicking it with him. I'm getting back on my groove. I'm going to mansion pool parties. I'm outside. I got a new body. Like, I'm out with my friends. It's litty. I got my car. Everything was good, right? So I'm living. And then remember the one that was blowing up my phone? He was also an old Johnny or whatever the case may be. So me and him wound up talking because he was, I don't want to say fiending in like a bad way, but he was very persistent trying to talk to me. Like, I used to give him the cold shoulder all the time, which is why I was so mad when he was calling my phone, because it's like, we don't even talk like that for you to be calling my phone down like that. Like, and we wasn't even talking in the way we started talking then, which I'll tell y'all how that happened. But still, that was crazy. Then one of my friends wound up having a birthday party, which was there's so many people that take place in the story, but I'm trying to help y'all really understand. So my friend that had a party was his brother's girlfriend, and I'm also close friends with his brother. This is the second Johnny I was having fun with in the summertime. Stay with me here, y'all. I know this is a lot of information, but I was close with him too before I knew any of them, really. So it was like a family kind of vibe. So I had my first Johnny, whatever. We was vibing when the days we was vibing, and then I was kicking it with my other Johnny, and we was vibing how we was vibing. But it was something about the second Johnny that I was with that was just like, oh my God, I can't explain the feeling. Like, long story short, I keep saying long story short, y'all. It's just a long story, damn it. It's a long story. When she had her party, it's like me and him reconnected in a way that it was like, if I wasn't feeling like this about you before, I'm definitely feeling this way about you now. Like, it felt so good. Like, I needed that feeling. Like, he gave me a feeling. He was so nice to me. He was so patient to me. He wasn't a pushover, nothing like that. But he just gave me everything I needed and wanted at the time. But I still was dating because I was not about to just put all my eggs in one basket. And I didn't know what he was doing either. So I'm just having my way with everything, you know? So the summer goes by. I'm having a great time in the summertime. Now it's getting September, October. Guess who made their way back around? H. He made his way back around. He trying to sneak up into my life now. He see I'm outside, I'm having fun, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Now he want to be back in my life. A part of me was just like, I don't want to say I didn't care for it because I'd be lying. I did want to be something with him, but I was just kind of over the way he was treating me, so I was just like on the fence about it. But he knew how to reel me in. So we started talking back. We started spending time together. Now it's getting October. You know what comes after that? November, not just November, my birthday. So this is a story I kind of want to make a whole separate story time about. But long story short, I'm going to put it like this. you could be as clear as you want to be with everybody, right? You could be as clear as you want to be, but when you spending time with somebody, they're going to catch feelings, and you're going to catch feelings as well, and that's when it gets tricky. So if I had to boil up this story, because this video is going to be pretty long, so I don't even want to, like, put too much on this story, but I can make a whole story time about it, which I most likely am, so let me know if y'all want this story time. My birthday wound up coming around, and, you know, H was fiending to, like, force his way back into my life, like, and it's like, it doesn't work when you want it to work. You treated me like shit for mad long. Now I'm having my way with it. No, like, stop trying to make me feel bad for talking to other dudes and make me feel bad because whatever the case may be. Like, and don't get me wrong, I understand me and H started spending mad time together now that he was back in New York, and, you know, he was showing me like he really wanted me back. I was working at the shop at the time. He would always come in the shop and sit in the shop with me at nighttime at Flatbush because, you know, it's one way in, one way out. It wasn't safe. Like, he was really showing like, I want my girl back. Like, I want my girl back, but I wasn't about to give it to him that easy. Long story short, I wanted to do a girls thing for my birthday. He wasn't jacking that. He was just like, why can I be there for my girl on her birthday? And I'm just sitting in my head thinking, I'm not your girl. Like, we're not together, and you messing with mad people. Like, I'm not your girl. Like, don't try to guilt me into, like, coming to my birthday. I didn't like that. So what wound up happening was my friend, and she's really, really, really my friend. I still speak to her to this day. Remember I told y'all that was my Johnny's brother's girlfriend. So it wouldn't feel right not inviting her out. It wasn't just a, oh, hi and bye type of situation. That's one of my close friends to this day. So she had came, but they wound up forcing themselves to come drop her off because they had a birthday gift for me. He had bought me like a Louis bag with a 1942 bottle at the top or whatever. And almost ran when he came, because, you know, when you go to STK, that's where I went for my birthday that year. I did a spa day and then we did STK. You know, you can't be seated until the whole party was there. And long story short, he wound up walking up trying to hand me something. It was dark and I walked straight past him. We wasn't too close. We was like a good 20 feet from each other, but I walked straight inside. And it was just like this whole big thing. Long story short, I thought I had a conversation with him or whatever. He was wondering like if there was somebody inside he needed to worry about, and I'm like, no, like, not that it's nobody inside that you need to worry about, but what are you worried about it for? Like, I get we were spending a lot of time with each other, but it was just like, you knew I was dating, like, you know. And now that I look back, I don't want to say it was selfish because I feel like everybody was still talking to their people and dating and stuff like that, but it's like everybody was my booze, like everybody was feeling the kid, like I can't explain it. So, but I definitely take full responsibility because I really hurt that man's feelings and I feel so bad. Anyways, I wound up egging him or whatever. He wound up never leaving the place because we all had went inside. So we was in there having a dinner. Everything was good, you know, until it wasn't. He wound up never leaving. There was almost a big altercation after that situation. Me and H had went back to the hotel with everybody. He did this whole big birthday thing for me. He had roses, he had the jacuzzi with the flowers, a big teddy bear, some Dior sneakers. Like, he did his big one. Even after that whole almost altercation had happened, it was a crazy situation. And then later that day, oh my gosh, y'all, like, I have to tell y'all this story separate, but D now, are y'all keeping up with me? Because I know y'all gonna be confused. D wound up, D's mom, because I was really close with his family. Like I told y'all, we was really like family. It was more than just boyfriend, girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend. Like, we was really kind of like family, you know. So D's mom wanted to take me out. She was initially supposed to come to my dinner, but being that H was fiending to like be there or whatever the case may be, I wound up telling her she can't come, and I wound up telling her like we could just go out to eat. So that's initially what we did. And long story short, my D wound up surprising me with a Rolex watch, and he posted it everywhere trying to prove a point once again, like he did when we was in the club. He just want to show dudes like, oh, he still got me or whatever, and that was not the case. Me and D did not speak to each other. Like, it was nothing going on. So I was confused at why he even got me a gift. Why he got me a gift, number one, why he came to New York for me, number two, and number three, why he got me a Rolex watch. Mind you, I'm not even about to tell y'all what happened with that Rolex watch until, if y'all want to see the story time about it, y'all want to see it. But that's 3 different dudes who bought me gifts for my birthday. Ask me how many gifts I wound up with at the end of that night. Yeah, it was a crazy story. If y'all want that story time, I would definitely give y'all that story time. But that was crazy. So after after all of these situations happened with these guys, H was still trying to, look, I really want you back. I really want you back. I don't even care about all this stuff. Like, he cared, but he was like, look, I'm fighting for you back. And I low-key feel like he deserved that too, because you was treating me like shit. You forgot I really get, like, don't, oh, because you forgot I got it like that too. You're not the only one who could have people all over your body and all that. Like, you know, and I don't like hurting people's feelings or nothing like that. But I feel like he had to see that I was still in high demand, because I think he forgot. Being that I was on him so much, he forgot that I really still got it like that. Cool. So we wound up getting into a relationship. This is the end of 2020. Of course, November, like I told y'all. Boom. Now let's get into the next section. So we going into 2021. Not quite, but we're still there. H wound up living with me and my family, my father and all of us or whatever. And you know, it was new for us. We never really lived with each other before, so you know what you do when you first live with your boo, your boyfriend, because that was my boyfriend. You know what happens when y'all get around each other and y'all living with each other, basically, because we was living with each other. You know what could be going on a lot, you know. I don't gotta tell y'all, but y'all know. So it was a lot of that going on. He was taking me out, like, you know, to dinner. Not to dinner, but we was eating out a lot. Like, we was doing anything to get out the house, really. So we was doing stuff like that. Then we started apartment hunting. We found this really nice apartment. If you see on like my vlog and stuff like that, you'll see like we was apartment hunting. And it didn't work out, and it was sad because it was like a racial situation. It was a racial situation as for why we didn't get the apartment, but I'm happy we didn't get the apartment because God knows what would have happened in there. So we just got tired of each other really quick, and I guess he felt like I was lazy and I wanted to be up in the bed all day. But it was just like, being with him was new for me. Like, I kept telling him, like, I can't believe I'm in a real relationship. Like, this feels so weird. Like, I'm in a real relationship. Like, I'm here, you know. And I was so used to being a loner. You know, I worked from my room, so it was just like, to have him there was a little bit weird. Watching me, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, doing hair tutorials and all that type of stuff. He didn't even see me in a ball cap at that time, y'all. Now, you know, when we was together, whatever, I didn't care if he seen me with braids, which he wound up seeing me multiple times, but we'll get there. And you know, he just would talk so down on me, and it's like, it's one thing to try to motivate or give constructive criticism or whatever the case may be, but it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I felt like he just was so nasty to me. Like, he just turned into it, like, you pursued me for so long just to, now that we in each other's space, like, you talking down on me. And it was just like, I guess he had a certain work ethic to him, and I totally understand that. He make his money his way, and I would make my money my way, but I had too many distractions, and I was nervous because I didn't want to mess up in front of him. I felt like I was going to keep stuttering in front of him. So what did that lead me to do? It leaded me to work a little bit less. I was still working, obviously. I still had to make my money, so I was still working, but I was laid up with him a lot. I was, and he didn't like that. He was like, I can't have these type of people around me, like, da-da-da. And I'm sitting here like, but you laid up in my parents' crib, like, if you really got it like that, you don't gotta be here. Like, I'm confused. Like, why you just, he just used to say the nastiest things to me. Anyways, one day we wound up getting into it. We was in JFK airport at the rental place, getting a rental car, and he just, like I said, it's always his mouth. Like, his mouth is disgusting. Like, his mouth is nasty, y'all. His mouth is disgusting. So he had yelled at me about some, I swear, I don't even remember what it was, but I know it was not worth what wound up happening. He wound up, as soon as I got in the car, as soon as I sat in the car, because I was the one getting out the car, going through here, trying to see this, trying to get the car, trying to call the people, using my card. I'm doing everything. As soon as I get in the car, he yelled at me about something. And I was like, stop talking to me like that. Da, 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 da. So I'm in his face, but I did not touch him, but I was in his face like this. I guess my nails were so damn long at the time. I guess I like poked him by accident. Really light. I know exactly what I did, and if I would have poked him real hard, I would have just said that. But I did not. He used that opportunity to literally choke me from the front to the back seat. And I just didn't understand what could have warranted him. Like, how could you get so mad that you just did that? And I was in shock, y'all. Like,